Welcome to another episode of Bench Burner Sports. We appreciate everybody tuning in for another episode. There's no fight card this weekend. So, as we do when we do record on non fight weeks, we're going to be talking about something different. We're talking about the welterweight division this week. Recently off of UFC 315, Bilal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena, where Jack Della Maddalena won the title. So there's a lot of interesting things coming to that division. Islam Makhachev is on his way to that division. A lot of guys that are kind of young and up and comers that are making their way up. Michael Morales just got a nice W this weekend. Carlos Praches fought Ian Gary a couple cards ago, right? 2 weeks ago?
Like a month ago,
Yeah.
a month ago.
2 or 3 weeks ago, and lost that one. So
Definitely not 2 weeks ago.
It was a month ago. It was the 15th, I think.
I'll take it from the guy who was there. That's all right.
That's fair. Anyways, yeah, so we're going to be talking about the welterweight division today because arguably I would come close to thinking that these guys would agree with me that it's probably the most exciting division in the UFC right now.
Yeah.
Just with the available talent at the top. You got other divisions with guys that are like a good top 5, a good top 3. This division has a good top 15.
Absolutely.
We're going to be talking about some of those top 15. We are leaving out some categories today, or some guys today out of the top 15, just because that would be way too much. Knuckles will go over that a little bit, here in a little bit when he does his intro. But yeah, again, we appreciate you guys talking to us today. And Squared, what's up, buddy?
Not a whole lot. Excited to talk about this, but anyways, follow us on our social medias. Sorry, I just had to cancel my DoorDash and I'm a little upset. Taking too damn long. Follow us on our social medias. X is at bench_burner, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, all the things at Bench Burner Sports. You'll find us there. Drop a like, drop a comment. We'd like to know your opinions on the matter as well. That's what makes this a discussion. And thanks for watching. Knuckles, take it.
All right. Well, everybody, I put it together a little thing. I've got it on my computer here. All right, but I got a graph here that I put together of just different fighters in the top 15. Not all 15, obviously, just some of them. More the new guard than anything. And basically, what we're going to do going forward is I'm going to say a matchup, and these guys are going to give their pick on who they think wins that matchup if it were booked today. And if it's a matchup that we're intrigued by, we'll throw our finger up or throw a hand up or whatever. And if 2 of the 3 of us throw our finger up, we'll discuss the topic. We're going to try to limit that, obviously, because there is a lot of fighters and a lot of fights, to talk about. And we're going to try to avoid maybe some rematches and stuff. And yeah, I don't know. Just we're gonna cut it up. It's just I'm very, very excited. Oh, also, yeah, what's up, everybody? It's me. I forgot to say it's me. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. But yeah, so
He doesn't give a fuck about you guys.
Anyway, I'm just excited to talk. I've been thinking about this all day. I've actually been planning this out for like a couple of days, but I got the graph put together today. Actually, I've been thinking about this since basically we recorded Stoking the Coals last time. Me and Square talked about a lot about the welterweight division last week, and I'm very, very excited because I think it's one of the best divisions in the sport right now, and I think it's definitely, like Max said, it's probably arguably the most exciting, at least for what the opportunities, because don't know what that was, excuse me. But anyway, I think for you could match up almost anybody in the top 15, and I said this on Stoking the Coals, I wouldn't know who would beat one or the other. And that's why this is so interesting, because I want to see what the guys think. And also, I want you guys to give your picks in the comments. That's definitely please, in the comments, on our socials, whatever, give your picks on who you think's going to win each matchup. Max got a little shit-eating grin on his face, so I know he's wanting to say something. I'm really curious as to what he's like.
About you, dude.
Yeah,
Every time we do these intros, I just look at while the other one's talking, I look at your guys' facial expression, and Squared looks so pissed off right now, and I know why he's pissed off.
Think about my beautiful succulent pouches that are not going to be arriving at my door right
I'm
now.
listening to talk, and I promise you, I'm listening, and I'm trying my best to hold it in, but I just see this guy like,
hey, I can't even where
looks
I
like
live.
he's
I'm
ready
like
to fucking murder someone.
my
and I
area
just
is so
couldn't hold
rural.
it in.
My
Sorry.
I'm not gonna lie, I was
Try my
not
best.
thinking about my pouches. I think I might just have a little bit of RBF, to
Yeah.
be honest with you. I think.
Well,
hey,
Given the
it's
circumstances
okay.
that
It's
just
okay.
took place, and then the RBF, I was like, I was literally trying to look away, and I couldn't stop. And I'm sorry, that was unprofessional of me.
Hey,
And
Yeah,
I
you're
couldn't hold
fine.
it. Couldn't hold it.
Hey, it's all good. Where I'm at,
HR would like to see you.
I can't even DoorDash, Uber Eats, any of that. So like, I'm just like, we got horse and buggies out here. We got to go get our. But anyway, so
Horse
we're
and
gonna go
buggy.
on to start. I'm gonna start with Bilal Muhammad, obviously the former champion. I want to start with him first, just kind of rapid fire through some of these. I don't think we're gonna talk about a ton of these unless these guys hold their fingers up or hands up or whatever, and we'll talk about it. If they just give me a wave, whatever. So we'll start with Bilal Muhammad versus Shavkat. Max, who would you pick in that fight?
I thought we were holding our hands up first.
No, I'm gonna go through each, and then if you want to talk about it,
Oh, I see. Oh no, sorry. I'm supposed to do that if I want to talk about it.
after. So before I moved, okay, I didn't explain the rules very well. Everybody, stay.
No, you didn't. You actually did. Do you understand what I'm supposed
Yeah, yeah. So we just say who we're picking, and then we raise our hand if we want to go in depth on it.
Yeah, before I move on to the next one, I'll say, does anybody want to talk about it? If you do,
sorry.
sorry for all the audio listeners. We're kind of
I get it now.
We're kind of
wrapping this up.
stupid.
I didn't explain it very
We're
well.
very restarted.
Well, we don't have many of those right now, anyway. So,
Very recent. All right. I listen on
okay.
audio. But
So I
anyway.
give my pick for everything. Okay, I
So
get
Max,
this
who are you picking for Shop? Okay. Squared.
Shavkat, the Nomad, baby.
I'm gonna pick Shavkat as well. Does anybody want to talk about it?
Are you gonna say
Nah.
Shavkat the Nomad baby every time you pick him?
Maybe.
Okay.
I probably will. Now that you said something, I probably will.
Yeah. Now that you make a point out of it, get ready.
Do it, please, because I
All
will
right.
go. I have
Well, hey,
CapCut, too.
we
I'll figure it out.
got a lot of fighters to go through. So let's
I'll make a clip of y'all just going Nomad baby over and over.
Nomad, baby. All right, so Bilal versus Sean Brady, Max. This is a rematch.
Brady.
I know we're kind of avoiding rematch, but this
Sean
is a rematch
Brady.
I want to talk about. Squared.
Brady, baby. I'm gonna do it for everyone.
I agree, Brady. Do we want to talk about it? Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, voted anyways, even if you didn't want to. So,
Max, you threw your finger up first. What do you got to say about that one, man?
I think Brady showed massive improvements in his last fight, and I think I don't think necessarily Bilal showed digression in his last fight necessarily, because I mean he fought like a dog, but I think Brady has been evolving ever since he joined the UFC, which is honestly rare to see in UFC fighters. Like usually they make it, and you see some evolve for sure.
His age, yeah.
He has evolved quite a bit, I feel like, and I could see him putting Bilal's lights out. Why are you staring at me?
Dude, he's like locked the fucking. I thought I was the only one that noticed that. He's
no, I
I'm gonna rip his throat. Is what I'm gonna do. The way he just spoke to me a second ago.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, we would have voted you anyway.
Yeah, we would have. It was a fact that I spoke out loud. That made me so uncomfortable, dude. I was looking at this fucking screen.
Go. We still got a lot to get.
You know what else is a fact that I don't mention? You're gay. That's a fact.
You weren't supposed to tell anybody.
Yeah. All right. Hey, let's get through these. Let's go. All right. So obviously he shared. I'm just going to say this real quick. The only thing I want to cover is that I think Brady has improved massively since the fight with Bilal. Bilal's also 36, and like he didn't digress. I think his fight IQ is a little questionable at times, but I just think that Brady's stand up and his ability to kind of avoid getting hit. I know he's fought two guys kind of on their way out in the last two fights, but the way that he dominated them makes me think that he would probably do something similar to Bilal, in a different way, because Bilal can grapple better than Leon, but not. It's weird. It's a weird situation. I think it would kind of honestly look like what Bilal did to Sean, but I don't know if Sean will get the finish. I just think that Sean's improved so much. And hot take, I think he might be the best 170er out there right now. But anyway,
that is an incredibly hot take and an incorrect one.
it's we'll get to that debate here in a little bit. Squared, what do you got?
Yeah, I think that Sean Brady has improved a lot. Of course, his one loss is to now the former champion. I think, and I was thinking about this recently. Something to take into consideration is, and this isn't just all to say a joke to say that Bilal's got pillow hands, but it was a standing TKO. Like, think about what is a standing TKO. It's not a weak chin. It's
Volume.
just it's volume, and it's on Sean Brady's part, it was a failure in defense. He was getting punched to the pace in which he could not respond to it, and it just kept getting put on him. He didn't buckle, he didn't fall down, nothing. It was like, all right, you're not responding to these hits. Stop the fight. That's bad. Obviously, you don't want that. You don't want to lose a fight, of course, but you also don't want to like just get punched until like the ref's like, holy shit, dude, you're not doing anything. You're just getting punched. But that's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of how to word this, but that's way more improvable than like a bad chin or something like that. And then you add that to the fact that I do think he's improved tremendously. We saw him stand up with Leon and look a lot better than he did in Abu Dhabi in 2022.
Yep.
So I think he has the tools now to dismantle Bilal pretty handily, I think.
Yep. Agreed. Right on. Okay. Boys, that's what we've been working for like 2 years for, is this quick discussion. We did good right there. All right. Like, we've been fucking working
Actually,
on that.
I got a couple more things to say.
No. So next one real quick. We're going to skip a couple of guys, and we're going to go to Joaquin Buckley. Max, who do you think? Sean Brady, or not Sean Brady, sorry. Bilal Muhammad and Joaquin Buckley.
Bilal.
Squared.
I'm going to go with Buckley.
Oh, fuck. I'm going to go with Buckley. Do we want to talk about it? I don't even know if I have anything to say.
I don't really want to talk about it, but can I just say this? Going forward after that JDM fight, and I've said this on the Stoke and the Coles, I'm not picking Bilal. I think Bilal is going to be a little faded in his next couple fights.
I agree. I'm not. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, okay. All right. Okay. It is one of those fights. Curious, but anyway, Bilal versus Ian Gary. Max.
Bilal.
Word.
Give me Gary.
I think I might take Bilal on that. I think I might. I'm not confident. That's a fight I would like to see. But like sooner than later, because if you book this for a year from now, Gary's winning. But we want to talk about it. Good. Okay. Michael Morales versus Bilal Muhammad. Max.
Michael Morales.
Squared.
Michael Morales.
I'm also going to take Michael Morales. That takedown defense he showed against Burns and his ability to get up. Okay. Let's get.
I forgot who he fought.
MVP versus Bilal. I'm going to take Bilal. Sorry, Max. You go ahead.
Probably Bilal.
Word.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Bilal on this one.
I'm going to go with Bilal. All right, everybody. Sorry about that. Let's do Process versus Bilal. What do we think? Max?
Process, probably.
Okay. Squared?
Process.
I'm also going to go Process. Okay. New kid on the block. Islam.
What if I wanted to talk about Process?
Huh?
I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you.
What's up? I didn't hear you.
I said, what if I wanted to talk about Process, but I'm totally kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, just from now on, I'm going to try to rapid fire it even quicker. So if you want to talk about it, Throw your finger up.
Maybe after you make your pick, if you want to talk about it, put your finger up. So
There you
like
go.
say your pick, hold it up. If we got 2 people by the end.
Can I put my
Okay,
pinky up?
cool. All right. Everybody's seeing our thought process in real time. Islam versus Bull. A fight that would never happen, but Max, who do you think would win?
Islam.
Bird.
Makhachev.
I also
Maybe
say Makhachev. All right. And obviously we saw Jack Della do what he did to Bilal. Next up is you already got that. Shavkat versus Sean Brady. Max.
Shavkat.
Bird.
I feel like this is a hot take, but I'm gonna go with Brady.
This is the one that I was most torn on. Okay. This is the one I was most torn on. So I think that Brady's workhorse like ability could provide. Sorry. We're supposed to talk. Okay, sorry. I'm supposed to make a pick. Shavkat. Shavkat. Talk about it real quick. Okay.
Yeah.
Max, go ahead.
So I think Sean Brady is a workhorse, and I love Sean Brady. And I know there's been some questions about Shavkat's cardio, but I think Shavkat is better than Bilal, and Bilal got Sean Brady.
Oh, here he goes talking about a fight 3 years ago again.
I literally have said to this point, literally on this episode, 15 minutes ago, I said that Sean Brady has gotten a lot better, but Shavkat, I think, is just massive. And I think Shavkat is better on the feet than Sean Brady, and I think Shavkat is better on the feet than Bilal. And I think Shavkat on the feet versus Brady, because I think that's where it's going to be, because I don't see Brady taking him down. I just see a world where Shavkat can tag him up on the feet a little bit.
People said that about the
just
Gastelum fight too.
Come on, don't even fucking do that.
I know that one. That one was a little crazy. I knew that. I'm aware.
Here, I think
I think
3-round fight.
Shavkat is just too strong. That's pretty much my take.
I think the size difference would be an issue. I think that the size difference would be an issue in that fight because Shavkat is 6'2", 6'3". Sean Brady's 5'9" on a good day. But I do
I
think
don't know
that
if that's how height works, Knuckles.
you know what I mean. Sean Brady. I do think Sean Brady might be stronger than him, though. I think he is because he's
Sean Brady is stronger than Shavkat.
Yeah, he 5'9" and 170 versus 6'3" and 170 weight distribution. Sean Brady should be stronger. The question, I think the reason that Shavkat beats him though is just because the feet. Every fight starts on the feet. Shavkat. If it were 5 rounds, I could see Shavkat. If Sean Brady drags it out, I could see Sean Brady folding. If Sean Brady drags it out, I could see Shavkat folding later, kind of like he did against Ian Gary, and Sean taking it over and maybe getting a sub. But I think if it's a 3-round fight, I think that Shavkat would just pour it on and probably put him out. Like he knows it's a 3-round fight, so he's going to pour it on. So yeah,
I think y'all might be a little surprised how the grappling exchanges would go in that fight.
Right.
I've always believed that
You're right, Mac. You guys go ahead and cook.
I've always believed that Shavkat's grappling relies heavily on his strength. So if he's going up against a guy who's stronger than him, that's going to be a little detrimental. He could knock Sean Brady out. You know, he does have some powerful striking. Could throw a fucking spinning kick to the head, some dumb shit like that. But I think if the fight had grappling exchanges, Sean Brady would come out on top in those. And with the way, like y'all said, workhorse, with the way he grapples, he would wear Shavkat down, and I think he would get a submission, possibly, if not just gruel him out to a long decision.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. I also think Shavkat is really good at weight distribution. And what does that look for, Knuckles?
I don't know if that's something like you can be good at.
I think he heard you say that word, and it was just kind of
Weight
came.
distribution. You can be good at that. He's
No,
good
I'm
at
talking
weight
about. I'm talking about.
distribution
Well, yeah,
using
like where you
wrestling.
focus your weight at, like in your legs, your arms, and stuff. But like I'm talking about, like
In wrestling, you can use weight distribution in wrestling for sure.
I promise you, Sean is a lot stronger than Shavkat. He's like a lot
Weight
stronger.
distribution doesn't mean strength. That's what we were just talking about.
He's also a better grappler than Shavkat.
Yeah, but I
So
think
weight
Shavkat,
distribution's not going to clear that gap.
we'll see. Oh, maybe.
Hopefully,
Who knows?
that'd be a fun fight.
I mean, I
And
get
that
what
should be the
you're
next fight
saying.
for both of them at this
That
point.
should probably
I
be
mean,
the next fight.
Now that
Oh, that'd be
Islam's
awesome.
stepping up,
The thing is though, is most of the weight. If you guys have seen how big Shavkat's head is, it's in his fucking skull. Like that motherfucker has
he's got zero head movement. You got to move that fucking thing around, dude. Hell
Can
no.
you imagine?
Dude, his throws are nasty, and I know throws are even harder against shorter people. I've wrestled; it's hard to do, but
Yeah.
I think really that fight would come down to takedown defense, and I think Shavkat would be able to defend enough to get him out, but we'll see, maybe.
Really interesting. Yeah, I think it's weird. I think 5-round fight I might take Brady, 3-round fight I might take Shavkat, just because like you fight different based on how long the fight is. Every fight does.
Do we know when Shavkat's supposed to be healthy? I feel like we heard
think
that
he's healthy.
recently.
About 2 weeks ago, his manager said 2 to 3 months. So
Jesus.
God, what?
So we're talking about he's not going to fight again until probably like what, November, December.
That was.
He's wasting literally his prime because also it's a smaller weight class, so you age quicker in those divisions. And I would recommend Shavkat maybe like bump up to 85 so he can get a few more years in. But anyway, so move on real quick. That was a good discussion. I'm glad we had a good talk on that one because that's a good fight. Shavkat versus, we're skipping those guys. Shavkat versus Buckley. Max. Oh, sorry.
Shavkat, 100%, 1,000%.
Shavkat.
I'm gonna go with Shavkat.
Baby.
Shavkat,
The Nomad,
You
baby.
fucked it up now.
Shavkat the Nomad, baby.
I can't even click.
I think we might be talking about that fight one day. So obviously we won't talk about it right now. But we've seen the Shavkat and Ian Gary, and that wasn't too long ago. So I don't know how much different it goes. Also, Shavkat supposedly had a torn MCL on that. So Shavkat versus Michael Morales. Max.
Shavkat.
Word.
Shavkat right now.
Yes, that's the key
Right
word,
now.
and I agree.
Yeah.
Shavkat right now. Shavkat right now. Man, Michael is coming up. Shavkat versus MVP.
You didn't make your pick. Oh, you said Shavkat.
Yeah,
okay.
I said Shavkat.
I thought you're my bad. Shavkat versus MVP.
Yeah.
Shavkat.
I'm only throwing for anybody that's listening or watching to this. MVP is like a wild card because I think we might have some guys that we might pick MVP over them. Maybe I just threw them in there as a wild card. Squared, what do you got on that one?
Yeah, I think Shavkat would run into some trouble in that fight, but he would win.
Yeah, I agree. I think it would be kind of like the Ian Gary fight where Ian was forced to grapple. I think Shavkat would have to get in close. Shavkat versus Proches. Max.
Shavkat.
I agree, Shavkat. Shavkat, the fight that I fucking want. Shavkat versus Islam. Max, right now, who do you pick? Obviously, anybody that's listening, Islam's new, so we have no fucking clue what he's going to look like at welterweight. He is a very, very large lightweight, though.
Islam right now.
Word.
Yeah, I can't pick Islam without knowing what he looks like at 170. So at least in that fight, I can't pick him. So I'm gonna go with Shavkat.
I'm also going to go with Shavkat. We want to talk about it. Or like,
I have my finger up. Y'all don't have to. That's the rule.
It's.
Okay.
I don't.
You've been outvoted.
Okay.
That's the fucking point of the game, and you see how I'm not getting,
It's
pressed.
okay. Okay. All right. So the big question: Shavkat versus Jack Della. Max.
Give me JDM. Fuck it. Give me JDM.
Okay, he's got his finger up, squared.
Fucking touch me, cunt. Yeah, give me JDM.
Shavkat.
Nah. Dude,
Okay.
I don't know. Shavkat, I do like him. Don't get me wrong. I do. And I want to see him succeed. His fight against Ian Gary gave me serious concerns. And we have seen JDM do nothing but improve. Like, he has gotten better and better with each fight. He got tested by Basil Hafez on short notice after being expected to fight a striker, spending his whole camp fighting a striker. Now he's training with Craig Jones full time. Craig Jones has talked a lot of good stuff about him. He does say he hits the
B-O-N-G. I don't even
I was
fucking
trying
know.
not to say that, dude. He hits the
he hits the glass menagerie a little too much. For
Yeah,
that
Stick.
fight.
He hits the
he
stick.
hits, the tobacco hookah too much is what they say. But that being said, Jack's grappling against Bilal blew my mind because you saw him against Basil Hafez and you saw him against Bilal. Night and day difference. The dude defended almost everything, and when he didn't, he got right back up. Right back up. And he fucking had Bilal down and was hammering elbows on him. I just think the dude has improved so much. He's determined. He's a monster. Right now, if they fought this weekend, give me JDM all day. I'm throwing $25 on it at least. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but like I don't bet that much money, so
That's his. He just gave it. You just should have said, "I bet a unit." That's the speech.
yeah.
I will say.
From
Before Squared goes, I would hope he would win because Shavkat's still recovering from a torn MCL. I'd hope.
Dude,
he
I'm
wins.
not talking. Well,
Anyway,
I'm not
Squared-
talking about literally this
no,
fucking
you
weekend,
talked.
dude.
You already talked.
JDM just went through a 5-round war.
Squared.
For me, it's it kind of the same thing that Max is coming from. His grappling was very impressive. I think that was everybody's question going into that fight. His defensive grappling was very impressive versus Bilal. Bilal, people complain that like Bilal wasn't shooting enough. Bilal's never been the guy to like shoot a lot. He shoots once a round and then holds you till the bell rings. That's his whole thing. He couldn't get JDM down very much, and when he did, JDM got right back up, and that's not something people do versus Bilal, which is impressive. And I know Shavkat's bigger, stronger. Don't know if I'd say he's a better wrestler, but maybe.
Couldn't grapple Ian Gary. Really that much.
Yeah, he definitely has holes in his game. Also, there's something in the air in Australia. I know a lot of it's Craig Jones helping these guys out. That dude has definitely instilled something with them. But I mean, even like Urseg, who I don't believe trains with Craig Jones. I could be mistaken, but I've never seen that collaboration. They just show really good like defensive wrestling and defensive grappling. I don't know what that is. I know, like I said, a lot of it's Craig Jones, but Australia's just got some vibe going right now that they're really taking advantage of, and they're really proving a lot of people wrong with it. So yeah, I just kind of got a feeling JDM would be able to capitalize with that. Obviously, the better striker. We know Shavkat's got some issues with head movement, all that, and I feel like he could put a number on him.
That's a good point. The head moving
I
is
think
there for Shavkat, and the head moving
that's so.
is there for JDM.
Going into that, what you guys are saying, that is my biggest concern with Shavkat in that fight. I think, however, I got a lot of questions about both guys in a way, but Shavkat, he had a torn MCL from like there's been like scans and shit been posted and stuff. He had a torn MCL in the Ian Gary fight. Going into it, from what I understand, still beat him. And if that is like 100% true and everything, and he had that, and he still beat the dude over 5 rounds, even lacking in the latter half of the fight, I think he's damn good then, and I think that but that doesn't change much on the cardio front, which is a concern because that's why he started wearing out. That's what happened in that fight and why it looked the way it did. Jack Della, however, on his side is I still do have questions about the grappling, and I know obviously we saw what we saw. But the game plan from Bilal was questionable at best. Because he shot like one takedown a round in the early part of the fight, and then
That's what he does. That's what he does.
That's what he does.
But
that's Bilal.
He's usually
but I've
just
seen him like
grabbing people and hold them against the cage, and then
seen him
eventually he
shoot.
gets them down. It didn't work.
But I've seen him shoot multiple times. I've seen him shoot in previous fights until he got a takedown, and that's what was weird is that Shavkat's not a guy that's gonna like shoot once. He's not gonna just shoot once. He's gonna shoot like if he's in the fight and he's a somebody.
He shot
somebody,
9 takedowns, by the way. In the fight before that against
if you watch the last like half of the fight, he shot like 3 in the last 2. Like he shot 3 in each of the last 2 rounds.
Shot 0 against Gilbert Burns.
Because Gilbert broke his fucking arm.
We all know Bilal likes to stand and
bang. 0
bang.
against Sean Brady.
Yeah, because he beat the shit out of him on the feet.
Shot 10 against Vicente Luque, which is 1 more than shot 9 against Stephen Thompson.
He was pretty on par with his usual performances.
So, but
he just wasn't having success with them, which is why it seemed weird.
Is,
like, why aren't you going for more?
Hold on. What I'm saying is he gave up early. He didn't try. And what I'm trying to say is Shavkat, like he's not going to fucking give up after the first one. I just don't see that, And so I have questions about JDM.
Keep in mind, JDM was flashing that uppercut. Made him very tedious to shoot.
But it's also how takedowns are performed. If you've seen Shavkat and how he trips, he throws, like he has variations. Bilal is a single and a double guy.
To be fair, if you look at Shavkat's fights, he's good at tripping when people accept clinch positions. JDM
that's what I'm saying. I think
at all.
It goes back to what you said because he is strong as fuck. And like I know I disagreed with the Sean thing. I just think Sean Brady is the strongest welterweight right now.
Contradicting himself right here live on the podcast.
This is live.
Against JDM, I think that too better that. No, but I think against JDM, I think he is stronger than JDM. I just think he is.
And I would not necessarily disagree with that.
But what I'm like, okay, because I want to keep this rolling. All I'm going to say is I just think that in the scenario given, I have questions about both, but I still have a lot more questions about JDM against a guy who's not 36.
The dude's the champion.
I still have questions about. I have questions about Ilya Topuria going up to lightweight. Like there's.
I'll also before we move on,
because he's not the champion of lightweight. Right, the lightweight division.
We're off the rails. Before we move on, I will say this. I'm not saying that like JDM suddenly like a what's the word?
God, completely. He's not a god. He's
not. Yeah, he's not a bullet. Yeah. He's not bullet. Like I said, his grappling looked great versus Bilal. His defensive grappling, and I think it would help him versus Shavkat. I don't think he's like bulletproof grappling. So there is a route to victory with Shavkat there. Same way that if JDM fought, the same way if JDM fought Sean Brady, I think Sean Brady would give him major issues.
Personally, I think there's way more questions about Shavkat right now than there are JDM.
And that's fair. Yeah. Basically, like what I'm long and short of it, and I'll try to keep it shorter from now on. I personally, I have more questions. I actually have questions about both, but I'm more confident in Shavkat because I've seen what he can do. That's what I'm saying. I've also seen what JDM can do. So next one is who would it be? It would be Sean. No, who are we on? Shavkat. Yeah, we're on Shavkat. Shavkat versus is it Shavkat we're on? Right? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Shavkat versus Joaquin Buckley. I've already said that, right?
Yeah, we already went over that, I think.
Who's Shavkat?
Sorry, we are on we're on Sean Brady now, and we are on to so we're on to Sean Brady now. Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley.
Oh. What?
Yeah, we're on to
a new fighter. Sorry. Okay, Sean versus Joaquin. Sean Brady.
squared.
Brady.
I would also say Brady, but I think Joaquin would give him a decent fight because his grappling defense isn't terrible.
Disagree.
Okay. Do we want to talk about it?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Sean Brady versus Ian Gary. Max.
Sean Brady.
Word.
Sean Brady.
Sean Brady. Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. Max.
Michael Morales.
Word.
Brady for now. Brady for now.
Brady for
I
now.
feel like
for
there
me.
might be a lot of things with Michael. Is just he's so damn young.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Brady for now for me too. All good. Okay. Brady versus MVP.
Brady.
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 Brady. Brady versus Proches.
Brady.
Brady.
Brady. I might leave Islam out of the discussion. I'm going to leave Islam out of the discussions because we just don't know right now. So we're going to skip that for now. We'll talk about the Islam and Jack Della fight maybe at the end or something. But Brady versus Jack Della squared or Max
JDM.
squared.
I think Brady for this one.
I'm going to go Brady too. We want to talk about it. No,
I mean, we can. I don't know. What do you?
I'm good. We've been going for a while. I'm good on it.
We'll make. I'll just say this real quickly. I think that's kind of what I was saying. Where I don't think JDM's like a god at grappling now or defensive grappling, and I think that
I don't think he's a guy.
Yeah,
that
let's talk
grapples.
about
I think
it.
he just
Quick second.
holds up. I think his cardio holds up, and I think Sean Brady wears out, and I think JDM just wears on him and puts him out.
That's fair. I'm with Squared. My opinion on Squared with what Squared said.
Big part of his loss to Bilal was cardio.
I think it was getting punched in the face.
A lot of it was cardio too.
Wasn't that like the second round?
That's where I need to be. Okay. Buckley versus Ian Gary. Max.
That's tough, but probably Ian.
Gary.
I'm gonna go Buckley. I think Buckley.
Ooh.
I think once he really gets.
We don't want to talk about it.
Do we want to talk about it
real quick?
I mean,
no, but just real quick.
So yeah, I just want to say real quick. I think once Buckley finally gets to the top tier of the division, I think the train tracks run out. I think he's had a great run. It's been impressive to me. I did not think he would ever get this far. It's been unreal. I just think once he gets to that top tier, it just runs out. That's just my opinion.
I think the reason with Gary, I think again, I like Buckley's grappling and grappling defense. I don't think that's somebody that Gary can just hold and try to grapple. And I think that Buckley's explosiveness, especially like what he did against Steven Thompson, which is a somewhat similar style to what Gary would do. He explodes in so fast. I think he can catch Gary. Now Gary could point fight and try to fight on the outside for I think 3 or 5 rounds. He could maybe win the decision. But I think that Buckley's explosiveness would cause issues for Gary because we also saw Gary get dropped by a
I know.
Yeah, just a random dude. That's where I'm at with it. I was gonna say Hibachi Chef.
I knew. I was gonna say you're about to say Hibachi Chef, weren't you?
I think Ian Gary's leg kicks eventually would take him away. I think he might get tested early. I don't think he gets dropped just because he's a little bit more sound than a lot of the.
Right.
Not that fucking Wonder Boy's not sound. Obviously he is, but he's just older. And I think he'd be able to counter point wise, and then I think the leg kicks would catch up to Buckley, and I think eventually Buckley would start to slowly lunge into stuff, and I think he would get caught with a counter and probably knocked out. I mean, Kevin Holland put him out.
Hey,
I know that was a middleweight. But
yeah, the length there, and I also like. Yeah, is it
that's
like just
thing. Perfect example.
But the way that Buckley fights at welterweight is so different than how he fought at middleweight.
It is. He is greatly improved, and
it's his. It's like
fan, but it's impressive.
It's the like literally like, it's what he did against Wonder Boy. His side to side movement and like ability to jump into shots.
To be fair, Wonder Boy was like 42 years old at the time.
I know, but man, like, dude, we saw Wonder Boy fucking tuning dudes up at like 40. You know what I'm saying? I know 42 or whatever. Like, we saw him
Teamed up
tuning
Jeff
up.
Neal.
Yeah, that's a fight that I'm going off. But like, I'm really, yeah, and
Teamed up Jeff Neal, and we've
but
seen how
hey,
that
if you
aged.
remember in that fight up to that point, I think Wonder Boy was winning on all cards, like up to that point. So it's, you know, um,
That's fair.
I mean, it's a really curious fight because I think that I just don't know where Gary's at. But okay. So next up is I don't know if we mentioned this one, Michael Morales versus Joaquin Buckley. Did I already do that one?
I don't think so.
Max. No, okay, Max.
Mike Morales.
Bird.
Morales. Yeah, Morales. Well, I'll go with that.
I'm gonna go with Morales as well. Joaquin Buckley versus MVP.
Joaquin.
Bird.
I think I'm actually gonna go with MVP on this one.
I think that is. I'm gonna go with Buckley, but I'm not confident. We want to talk about it.
I think the length is a big factor for that. That's all I gotta say.
I think,
I'll say the same.
Well, that I just think MVP's just gotten the UFC too old.
Coming off a
Fair.
win versus Magomed, and suddenly he's too old.
Yeah. Yep.
Magomed.
Also, I
Bullet,
think
whatever
Bullet's
his name
not.
is.
I don't think Bullet's very good.
Shara?
No, yeah, he's not like a great fight or anything,
Sharp.
but I
Magomed,
mean,
I think no. I mean, it was not.
No,
an
I think,
impressive-
dude, like that's why I included MVP in the discussion because I think there's
Well,
a lot
dude,
of people
think
he
of
can
who
still beat.
Shara's fought in the UFC. He's fought Cans, and he finally fights a fighter that's a good fighter, and he loses.
Like,
are you calling
close
Armin
decision.
Petrosi in a can,
Yes.
motherfucker?
And he loses a close decision. Yeah, I think Buckley knocks him out. Honestly,
all right.
A close
Rochester.
decision with who?
sure.
No, he beat the fuck out of Shara. What are you talking about? He lost a close decision to Ian Gary, who's pretty damn good.
You're right, but still,
That's why I think MVP.
Yeah,
I think MVP.
whatever. All right. We're spending too much time than
right.
I think anybody wanted to
Okay,
spend.
you are right.
Prochess versus Buckley. Max.
Proches.
Word.
Proches.
I'm gonna go Prochess too. I can't believe we're unanimous. That's all I'm gonna say. Prochess versus Jack Della.
Jack Della Melee.
JDM.
Easily. Easily, Knuckles. Before you make your pick, it's easy.
I don't know if I'd say easily, but he beats him.
Because again, style matchup, styles make fights. I'm gonna go with JDM, but styles make fights, man. Styles make fights. You forget this. All right. Morales.
JDM is already.
All right. Yeah, that's. I mean, he's good. He's damn good. Ian Gary versus Michael Morales. On to a new one. Max. Good one.
Oh, that's tough. Fuck, I don't know. Can I say like draw? Is that an option?
Say if you say you can say I don't know because if you legitimately don't know,
I honestly don't know. I would say right at this very second in time. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I just gotta say I don't know.
Bird.
Ian Gary.
I'm gonna go Michael Morales.
I was leaning Ian, but I don't know.
We want to talk about it? Okay.
I just Ian Gary's got
They're
the
just so-
experience.
Yeah,
and
the
I think he
experience.
knows how to play his game better.
But he
than
doesn't
Morales
have
knows how
the
to play
length.
his.
But the thing is, that's a fight he doesn't have length in because Michael Morales is one of the longest in the division. Like he'll close that distance, and
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think Ian Gary just knows how to play that game better.
that's
than
fair. That's fair.
Morales does.
That's fair.
I would lean Ian, but I just don't know.
For now,
Michael.
Ian Gary. For now, that's important.
Michael Morales versus MVP.
Morales.
Morales.
MVP.
Yeah, I'm
MVP.
thinking MVP. He just knows how to play that distance. It's kind of the same as Ian
And
Gary. He
Morales
just
is not a
knows-
grappler.
Again,
He'll
this
stay
goes
at
back to
distance.
my point of MVP got into the big leagues too late.
But he's also going
And
against
again,
the guy.
remember, this is
maybe a
like
little trailer.
if it happened right now, if they had a full training camp and it happened right now, we're not talking 6 months from now. We're talking right now. If this
About
fight
right now.
full camp right now. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go MVP.
What is MVP? He's like 34.
No, he's like 37.
Yeah, there you go.
30 foot to
He
Whatever.
still beat again. It goes back to what Squared said. He
He
beat
beat
Shard.
Shard. Come on, but yeah, but
He
Shara
also
in my opinion,
he
is
also
overrated.
almost beat Ian Gary. And the only reason Ian Gary won was because he laid on him. And Michael Morales doesn't get a lay on him.
Don't disagree with that either, but
Okay.
that was a year ago.
Okay. So all right. Proches versus Proches versus Michael Morales.
Michael Morales. Morales for sure.
I think I'm gonna go with Proches on this one.
I'm gonna go with Proches too. I just think I think he's also got the length. I think he's got more power than Morales.
Length and experience. Experience is a big factor
in Morales.
in ever picking against Morales. At this point, a lot of the reasons I might be picking against Morales in many cases would be experience.
I agree. Morales versus JDM.
JDM.
JDM. I think it is.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
That's pretty good, man. That's good to hear.
Yeah. How was work today?
You know, it was all right. Yeah, we just kind of.
Okay. Ian Gary. I think I skipped a couple. Okay, so the only one for Ian Gary is Jack Della.
JDM.
JDM. Yeah.
For MVP, the only one MVP versus Proches.
MVP.
I think that's actually one I would take MVP on too. I think.
Yeah. I'm thinking MVP for this one.
Just staying outside. Yeah. Styles make fights.
I just think Carlos Proches, the aura is great. The sick smoking and stuff, it's awesome.
Yeah. No, he's a damn good fighter though. He's still a very good.
I could also see Proches catching him with something fucking nasty.
But that's his only shot is to catch him with something nasty. Because
also, I think he's almost. I think they're the same length. I mean,
MVP is so good at handling people like Carlos Proches, and we just saw what it would look like when Carlos Proches fights somebody that is good at.
That is fair. That's a fair point. Yeah, because Ian did kind of like keep it.
He just handled it. It was a boring ass fight, but he handled it perfectly, and I think MVP is even better at that.
So MVP's got an inch of reach on him. So yeah, fair point. MVP versus Jack Della.
Oh, Jack Della easily.
Yeah.
I would also say Jack Della. Okay. And I think the last matchup we have to talk about is Jack Della versus Proches, which obviously
JDM.
Yeah.
Sorry, say it again.
JDM versus
JDM.
I'm gonna go with JDM too. And a little preface for a fight that might happen in the future. Early picks for Islam versus Jack Della. What do we think? Thanks.
Man, that is such a tough one. It is so hard. It's always hard picking a fight with Islam. And that is being said because he fought first a dude that was a weight class under him that clearly was undersized twice. The first time was super close. Second time, knocked him out. Nasty ass knockout. Whereas a TKO, but then beat DP. And DP, as much as I love the dude, don't get me wrong.
Dr. Pepper.
Love him.
Dr. Peppers.
Dustin Poirier is not exactly championship level these days. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Even when he fought him, everybody was saying the championship fight wasn't deserved. Um, and there's arguments to that, and that's me saying that. And I love Dustin Poirier.
It definitely wasn't deserved.
Exactly.
It was
100%
not at all.
was not.
But then he went out there still undeserved and put on a fucking stellar performance. Now Islam is going up a weight
I don't think you
class.
lose stellar performances.
Huh?
Said I don't think you lose stellar performances.
Why are you doing
He was
this to
also
me?
like down like 3 rounds to 1. I think there was one judge that
Okay.
had.
Let's
think
be
just
honest.
I think
Let's be
people.
honest. We were all fucking impressed by the
Yeah,
performance
yeah,
that DP put
he
on.
did better than everyone thought he was going to
Yes.
do.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
say
yeah.
this: people kind of blew it up because he hit him with
Yeah,
like an
he did.
elbow or something that cut him, and everyone was like, "Well,
Definitely.
look how damaged he was. He was putting it on him the whole
So,
fight."
yeah.
It's like, no,
I saw a fight where
It
Islam
was
was
a
winning the whole
good
time. That's just
performance.
what I saw. That's
From that age of a DP
Yeah.
and that many fights, that was a good performance. I mean, dude, he put everything out there and he put on a good performance.
yeah.
But he did better than people thought he would do.
All right, this is we're talking
Yeah, okay.
welterweights, right?
Anyways, yes, that's where I'm going. JDM is a welterweight. JDM is big. JDM can strike. JDM can defensive grapple. We'll see how well against Islam. That's the thing. You just don't know. It's so tough. Early, right now, if I had to pick, which the fight's going to happen, I'll go more in depth when it happens. Ah, God damn it. I hate saying it. I love him so much, but I'm going to have to pick Islam. Like, I can't not. Just common sense tells me Islam, but get me closer to the fight. Let me think about it a little bit more, and I will probably pick JDM. 100%. When we pick our fights that week, I will probably pick JDM because I would be picking with my heart instead of my head. So right now, I'm going to say Islam squared.
I'm gonna say JDM, and I guess we're just gonna go ahead and explain these picks.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna say JDM because I do think, kind of going off what Max was saying, Poirier did do better than we thought he would. Honestly, there are a handful of similarities between Poirier and JDM, boxing heavy style, but among other things, I also just think that JDM's like a better version of him though, because he's also got, I mean, still to be certified, but it's looking like he might be a better defensive grappler. He fought in a title fight and didn't get choked out, so that already puts you a step ahead of old DP, the old diamond.
Okay,
I'm
dude
sorry.
fought fucking Khabib
I'm
and
sorry.
Islam, dude. What are we talking about?
Dude, Bilal.
Also, he also
Remember the
almost
name?
he also
Have you
almost
forgotten the name?
Yeah, I did forget the name. Actually, I didn't know what you're talking about. So I had to think about it for a second.
But yeah, I expect big things from JDM. We talked about this training with Craig Jones. Craig Jones seems to have that anti-Dagestan formula pretty well. He's got it locked down pretty well. We've seen him. Craig Jones personally beat the shit out of very high level guys. I explained my pick, but things didn't go my direction. So
Going
we'll leave it at that. I said things
Okay.
and I said valid, intelligent points, but I also just my mind slipped into a different realm, and the podcast gods were not with me for a minute. So
just
Okay, let me just. I'm just gonna say this. I think that Islam's the greatest fighter on the planet right now. I think he's very good.
start
Yeah.
the whole pod over.
So,
uh,
anyways, boys
yeah.
and
So Islam's
girls.
great. JDM's great too, but again, I have questions about JDM. Islam has more ways to win, in my opinion. I think he's very good on the stand up and underrated on the stand up. Um, and I also like his clinch work as well. I think it's up there as well. I do think JDM will probably fucking give him some rib roasters here and there and probably make it a dog fight. And I honestly think that fight is kind of a toss-up, but I lean Islam, and I think he's just the greatest fighter in the world. And there we go, and that's what I think. And really looking forward to it. And my opinion probably won't change much between now and when the fight happens, unless like I don't know, like I come across some revolutionary JDM propaganda. So
I will
also
absolutely be
love Craig Jones.
riding.
Love Craig Jones. He's my favorite. Fucking love him.
I will be riding JDM the entire week that week. So
That's making what I said seem
know
a
what?
whole lot.
no, it's not. No, it's not. We had to cut your shit out.
Great podcast. Thanks, guys. But anyway, that was our quick rapid fire. That's what happens when fights don't happen. This is exactly what happens. We get a little stir crazy. We appreciate you guys. Yeah, I appreciate everybody giving their picks on the list. I'm going to let Max close it out, and then we'll do our thing. So, Max, go ahead, buddy.
Thank you for tuning into another episode of Bench Burner Podcast. We appreciate you guys hopping in. No fights this week, so like you said, we're a little stir crazy. We're gonna be excited for next weekend's card. What is next weekend's card? Somebody remind me.
Blanchfield.
Blanchfield. I love Blanchfield, but not pumped.
A super exciting card.
Hey, I want to say this. There are some MMA media members that are saying that card is better than the card we just had. You MMA media members, I know you won't hear this, but if you do, get help. Seek help immediately. Like, what you find a different sport to cover. Because if you think that card's better, you got some fucking issues, dog. Anyway, go ahead, Max. Sorry.
I forgot where I was. I totally forgot where I was, and you totally messed. I'm just kidding.
Now you know how I feel. Now you know how I feel after I did what I did to myself.
Appreciate you guys hopping in for another episode. It's been awesome. It's probably going to seem chaotic with the final cut, but we're okay with that. That's what we do. It's chaos. And we appreciate you guys tuning in as always. And we're going to be continuing to do this until we can't anymore. So me and Squared are beginning the plans of a studio in our bonus room upstairs. So we're excited to debut that here eventually. Give us some time to work it out, but we're going to be doing that. The quality will be so much better. And again, we appreciate everybody that tunes into this podcast every week. We don't know why you do, but we appreciate it and we love you guys. Knuckles, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, I appreciate you guys especially you, Max and Squared, and the fans, fans. I don't want to call anybody fans. I don't have fucking fans. The viewers. Thank you. Our viewers, our friends, and everybody that watches this podcast, for sticking in there with me and my chaotic list, which I was going to record each pick, but then I realized editing a graph is like extremely difficult. And I'll try to remember the picks. I probably won't, and like update it later. I'll probably just watch the podcast back and update the picks. But yeah, I appreciate everybody, and please, again, in the comments, put your picks down below for the fights that we said. You don't have to give every fight, but if you got some key matchups you want to give your picks for, that'd be great. This was just something that I like brainchild, like a fucking brain baby that I come up with because all I've been thinking about for the past 2 weeks is welterweight division, and I just want more welterweight fights. Like, I want Islam versus Jack today. Like, I want that fight right now. And I want Shavkat to get healthy, and I want to see MVP back in the welterweight division. Don't know where he has been after beating Shara at middleweight, and I want to see Sean Brady dog walk Ian Gary. And I just, I'm just ready for the welterweight division to kind of keep rolling forward and steaming forward. I love it, especially after we've gotten 2 back-to-back weeks with really high-level welterweights fighting in it. So yeah, I'm super excited. Thank you guys for checking this out, and all that. Square to plug the socials, tell you guys everything, and thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. More short clips. I almost sound like I was about to bust right there.
Thank you guys so much.
Short clips coming soon. I got this this little handy dandy gadget, even though my battery died on my other one. So you guys might see me doing some clips in my truck, maybe even my work truck. You guys might see me in uniform. Just doing short clips about things related to MMA, super quick. When you did that, I just picture the guy that screams like the meme where he's like, but yeah. So yeah, appreciate you guys and stay tuned for the future. Square, go ahead and take us away, buddy.
Thank you for watching, everybody. If the last 5 minutes of the podcast made absolutely zero sense, just know that it's my fault and everything's all good. We all make mistakes. But thank you for watching regardless. And as Knuckles had said, drop a comment, tell us what you think about any of these potential matchups. You can do that on our social medias. Obviously, this one, YouTube here, most privy for the comment section, Spotify as well. You'll find us on X at bench_burner, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, etc. iHeartRadio, absolutely, etc. On at Bench Burner Sports. Thank you for watching.
Hell yeah. Hope everyone has a great evening.
Woo!